Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mind Over Matter, the Mom Podcast. I am super excited to come back to the studio to shoot. And today's episode is really special because we are entering into the month of February, the month of love with intention. And I'm joined today with incredible women who have been to the podcast before. If you are a returning viewer, subscriber, listener, you have experienced them. And I'm super, super excited to welcome Karen Bugingo and Isabelle Masozera. Yay!
Thanks for having us back.
Anytime.
It's a pleasure to be back on our favorite podcast.
Yes. Number one podcast.
Number one.
Gali.
Yeah.
Clock it. Murakoze. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for joining me today.
It's a pleasure.
Sawa. So today, as we are in the month of love, we are going to talk about how loving yourself can really determine or make you see and experience love, the romantic kind. So, muri tayari?
Yes.
Muri tayari? Amazing, amazing. This particular episode really speaks to my heart because my girls and I are organizing a Galentine dinner on the 7th of February. Please come through at Movenpick at 3 p.m. Wear pink. Come, let's have fun. Let's be intentional about nourishing ourselves emotionally, because when all those inner worlds are fed, you show up better as a mother, as a partner, as a friend, and as a sister. So, as you know, our usual, we start off with icebreakers. Yes. Now, I want to start off with this question to all of you ladies. In this current season of your life, what does love look like to you? Let me start with Karen. Yes. Girl. By the Karen Utamuzi, she's an entrepreneur, she's a content creator, she's a mama, and she's a wifey.
Okay. So in this current season of my life, for me, love looks like showing up and sacrifice. Sacrifice in terms of if I see that you're sacrificing your time, sacrifice, like making an effort. And because we live in a very busy world, especially as most of the people of my age now, they're moms, they're business women, they're what. So whenever like someone makes time for me, I'm like, yes, this is love, because it takes a lot. This adult thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
When someone actually puts you in their calendar, I have my friend, she sends me calendar invites for hangouts, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so special.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
So-
thought about me.
You thought about me.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're like, Karen, I'm going to give her my time, even if it's 2 hours. You're like, yeah. Also, my love language is quality time. So whenever someone gives me their time, I'm like,
Yeah. Oh,
I hear you.
amazing.
Wow,
So
that's
easy.
beautiful. Yes. Oh, wow. So I'm not so far from Karen. I think for me, I would say reciprocity. Reciprocity, because I'm a giver. And most women are. And so when we are in love, or when we are, whatever we want to give out from that purity and beautiful place, we're only looking that way. Really do. Yes.
Yeah.
Really,
To the receiving.
yes.
And
So you hear cliche statements like, I want to be loved in my love language. Love someone in their love language. And it sounds like a very small thing, but she talks about sacrifice that comes so natural for us women. And so this season of my life, I am watching. I am the watcher. Oh, yes. I'm watching and checking how much of me am I giving you, and how much of you are you giving.
Yes.
On friendship equity now. That was
Oh.
not something I thought about.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm big on relationship equity. There has to be reciprocity, because when it's
These
not there,
icebreakers. Oh, it's quite
No,
Taji.
wow, I'm like, girls, that's
Yeah.
deep. Yeah.
it's so true. Yeah.
When it comes to love, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And it's, people say, no, you shouldn't keep count, you shouldn't. No. It's not healthy, because then you're going to build resentment, you're going to feel drained, you're going to feel frustrated. And so that's where I'm at.
Amazing. So personally, I feel like, if I'm to share, love for me in this season feels like peace and not having to guess where I'm at. So if I'm having to guess where I'm at with you, yeah, I need reassurance. I need to that for me, love feels like peace, stability. Like, if you're my person, you're my person. If you're my girlfriend, you're my girlfriend. I know I stand with you. I know. So for me, love looks like that. I'm not about to guess where I stand with you or where you stand with me. I'm not about to play games and I'm old, okay? Thank you very much. I'm old.
Anybody got time for that?
Nobody got time for that, okay? Yeah, so, oh my God, that's a nice icebreaker. Let's get into our conversation. So, we're going to talk about self-love. First of all, what does self-love look like? Or cannot look like? More like, what is self-love? What is it?
Yes. Okay.
Karen, you were an advocate of self-love.
Life,
Self-love.
all of it.
All those nice things.
I must think beside her.
Yeah, that girl.
I must think beside her.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what is self-care?
Yeah. Self-love.
Personally, self-love. It is prioritizing myself, not putting myself in situations that drain me, and evaluating my life, and like what you said, like where I stand with people or around me. You know, when I go home, I have this thing where, like, I evaluate, like, the people I just met, the conversation I've just had, like, how is my body feeling? Like, let me not focus on, like, what my brain was fed. Like, how am I feeling physically?
The body language. Did I have to cringe a little bit?
Yeah,
like,
like,
say something. Yeah.
Like, did I feel loose? Did I feel like tight? How did I feel? So for me, that's how self-love looks like, because it means that I am speaking my language to myself first before I speak the language to anybody else around me. And self-love for me is very wide. It's a very big book. It's many chapters.
Yeah.
So that's like chapter 1 among like 20 chapters. Also understanding myself, where I am psychologically. Like, I now have names for whatever emotions that I'm going through, and I give them names and titles so that I can address them.
Wow.
Those things of, like, I feel some type of way.
What type of way?
You'll never touch me, say that. I will say specifically how I feel. I feel drained. I feel empty. I feel heavy.
Filled or
So putting titles to my emotions have kind of helped me. Like, okay, now how do we tackle this? How do we, if you're overwhelmed, let's look at what makes us feel better. What do we do when we're overwhelmed? Do we get off our phones? Do we disconnect from social media? Yes. If I'm feeling empty, how is my prayer life?
Yeah.
Is that Bible closed? Hey, please open open the Bible. Open the Bible.
Yes. Yeah.
How is my prayer life? Things like, I investigate my life, to find out what are those, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
And health as well.
Yeah.
Going to the gym,
Yes.
eating well, all those are things, basically pouring into myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So have you always been like that? Like, self-aware?
No. I think I became aware that the best thing that I can do for myself, I think my late 20s, after I became a mom, that's when the self-awareness to what my body needs and what I need, that's when it truly the bulb went on.
Yeah, so you began the work.
Yes, because I feel like motherhood takes you through a journey that you're like, if I don't snap out of this ASAP, it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's not cute.
It's going to go down a very deep rabbit hole. So the sooner I come out, and there's this article I saw that postpartum takes like, I don't know how many years. You know,
Is it like 7 years? Is it 7 or 5 years? Something like that.
But I'm a strong believer that it takes that, like, scientifically it takes that long, because women were told that postpartum is a feeling you should have and then sit with it. You know, the depression, the what. But for me, I am a solution person. You know,
Like what are we gonna do about this problem?
So postpartum is here. We have depression.
No,
professionals.
Maze.
And then how do we?
Yeah.
We can't sit in the depressed state because biologically our hormones are taking us through it.
Yeah.
There are people who went to school. There are people with PhDs. My therapist, she's a psychologist. She has a PhD in psychology. She understands the human brain. So I go and tell her, she's like, let me tell you what the problem is. Sit down so we can fix it. So like seeking professionals like that, so they can tell you that you don't need 7 years. I can help you
Deal with this. Yeah.
you know what 7 years is a lot.
It is.
Like,
It's a long time.
it's a long time. So if I give birth at 30, that means I'll have to wait until I'm 37 for me to come back to my usual self. So for me, I was like, that's unrealistic. Let us get, let us get moving. So
Let's get
one thing about me, therapy, I'm a stick beside her too.
I'm a stick beside her. Kabisa. Oh, that was powerful. That was powerful. So Isabelle, what are you gonna ask? What am I going to say after? Okay, so tell me, how did self-love, right, shape how you experience the romantic kind of love?
That's deep. That is deep. But also, just coming off everything she just said, I was just sitting and listening to her, first of all, and thinking, that sounds like Isabelle talking. Because everything that you're talking about, listening to your body after a meeting, how are you feeling? That's so beautiful. And that's the kind of awareness and knowledge and all the good things that we wish for all the women out there. And I hope somebody's taking notes. But I would say self-love definitely has shaped the way I approach romantic relationships, how I receive love in a romantic setting. I have to first of all put a disclaimer. I am not probably an expert on anything romantic relationships, but in my 20s, for me, self-love was not a priority. And I think I even talked about it in our last meeting. I always thought self-love was about doing and go to the spa and what are my kids eating and all of this, doing. And then later as I grew, it became about listening, being in tune with what's happening in my mind, what's happening in my body, what's happening in my soul. How am I feeling around this person now? How I'm investing in myself, meaning my nervous system is a big part of it. Is this person's presence in my life soothing my nervous system, right? How do I react around them?
Are you anxious?
Am I anxious? Or is it a kind of grounded love? Is it a safe love? Is there emotional safety? Or is this the kind of love that is just chaotic? Everything about it is anxiety. Everything about it is hyper. It's all, how am I feeling? So where I am at and how I treat myself is definitely going to contribute. Also, self-love is going to send you to places where you're like, okay, this is how I want to love myself. Sometimes it's not even in you. You don't know how to love yourself, but you're going to invest in learning how to love yourself. Now, when you get to that point, you're not going to take crumbs. The equity comes in. If I'm loving myself and this is how much I'm giving myself, I'm definitely not taking less from a romantic partner because we teach them how to love us. And so self-love has meant that I've had to be single for a very, very long time in between relationships.
Yeah.
Because I will not onboard anything less than.
Yeah.
It has also become okay. I am a mother of children from same broken homes. So before I get into another relationship, what have I learned about me? Sometimes self-love has been okay. Maybe I'm the one that presented in some toxic ways in that relationship. How about we do what Karen said and go to therapy and address some of these things that sometimes are rooted in childhood trauma, sometimes are rooted in our first relationship with the most important romantic partner or symbol of what that could be, and that's our father. Was our father an avoidant figure? Was our father a present, emotionally safe figure? When they were happy with me, how did that look like? When they were annoyed with me and it was punishment, what did that look like? You bring all that baggage into the romantic setting. And so to be able to say self-love for me means that I had to go into healing. Understanding myself, because a lot of the times we expect romantic relationships for the other person to come in and be Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi, and all the above. No, because at the end of the day, they too are coming with their own baggage. It's not a trauma party, you know. Both need to go do some work and then create this beautiful island called love. And so for me, self-love has been a lot of investment in therapy. Has been about understanding my nervous system. It has also been about eating, because I learned that therapy, yes, we love therapy, and it's very, very important to understand what's going on up here. But what we're putting in here also contributes to how this is functioning and everything else. And so definitely self-love in this part of my life, which is so exciting. I'm about to get into my 40s very soon, and I'm very excited about that.
We can't tell, but okay.
You know, a little bit told me.
Yeah.
25 going on to 40.
But a little bit told me relationships in your 40s and 50s are definitely the highlight. So I'm excited to understand how I show up when I get there. But for now, right now, it definitely is. It means not settling for anything less than what I can give myself.
Amazing. I love that, ladies. You know, before, when I say before, is before actually you do the work on yourself, all what you guys have been saying. I used to look at the romantic love in the sense of choose me. Choose me, love me, want me, you know, because you see your worth through their lenses, through this, even friends or even the romantic relationships. You're always in a choose me mode, love me mode. Actually, it's actually been very hard to fathom that I was in that state at one point, whereby everything, I'm like, I want to be chosen, I want to be loved, just because I did not know what I was worth. How loving myself made me feel like, hey girl, you can actually, again, not settle for crumbs. So that is how I would, before self-love, that is how I would interpret.
That's so powerful when you say choose me, because a lot of the times that's when you look at the African traditional setting and our view of love, and up to today, the man was the hunter. You know what I mean? You go out, you find this beautiful person, and all the women had to do is choose me.
Yeah.
You know, so we have that
I am
kind of
beautiful.
conditioning. Yes. But also the beautiful thing about now some of these conversations is we learn that before somebody else chooses you, you have to choose yourself. And I think
Otherwise, you're just gonna say, okay, you're gonna again settle for crumbs because, okay, Bambi has chosen me. You know, at least someone out there is loving me. And then there you just feel like, when that feeling starts to fade, you feel like, I'm sorry, you feel so bad about yourself because you're like, wait, I had to like beg to feel, even to be loved how I want to be loved, right? But when you identify, again, I'm just like, taking off of what you guys were saying, like, what you mentioned, if you love yourself enough, you're able to understand what actually works for you. Your love language, quality time. You can't know it's quality time unless you love spending time even with yourself.
Yes.
You have to invest in getting to know you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then, one thing I want to add. I feel like all of us, our natural instinct is to be the pick-me's, every person, however, we have that trait of being a pick-me-sha, like the Gen Z call it, We have that pick-me tendency.
Yeah.
But it's the everyday work to unlearn. I feel like there's no point where you get and you're like, I am self-love is enough, my tank is full. I feel like it's an everyday work. Every day you wake up, you have to choose yourself. You have to be aware of, this thing that I'm doing, like, it's I'm trying to make other people choose me. So you have to knock yourself out of that mindset, because it's a lingering mindset that just sneaks in.
That makes you want validation.
Makes you want validation. It's okay to want validation, but we need to identify the healthy one and then the toxic one.
Yes.
What is the toxic one?
The toxic one is the one that, first of all, makes you put yourself out there in a very vulnerable way. The one where after that, you feel like, you feel empty. You don't feel good.
Exposed.
You feel exposed. You feel what? But then there is that pick-me-ness, if I can call it, that obviously has to come from a romantic relationship, and that's the healthy one. Because someone who has chosen to fall in love with you, they have to pick you.
They've already
Picked you, actually. So you have to be secure in that state that they've picked me, they've loved me. Let's not now start doing the pick-me marathon throughout this marriage. Doing the most. Like, I remember the first year of marriage, I was kind of doing like some things to prove what I was proving. What was I proving? I was in my 20s, so anything I did in my 20s,
don't hold me accountable.
whatever we did in our 20s.
Yeah.
Staying in our
please, the ghetto. This is why people shouldn't be getting married in their 20s, but that's a topic for another day. So but then now I'm like, please, I give what I have.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. So
enough.
Yeah, it should be enough. Okay, talk of enough. Yes. I want us to shape the conversation a little bit. Yeah. Recently, we had a conversation where we're trying to promote this the Galentine dinner that we are organizing. Again, guys, on the 7th of February, come through. Movenpick, buy your ticket.
Yes.
Yes. So we got talking to some male figures who are married. Men, and we talked about, vaguely saying, we're going to be loving on ourselves as women, and there was a little bit of eye-opening conversation that came after that statement, whereby it may feel like, if we talk about self-love, because there's this real or whatever TikTok that says women are always trying to go somewhere, going out to dinner, going out with their friends, that we're always trying to go do something, go away, let's get away and do something. So even this says it meant that women are always wanting to like love on themselves. Does that remove that someone else can love you, or your partner can love you, or does it say that they don't love you enough, you want to self-love, right? Or does that does it mean that they are inadequate in your life?
So you're trying to outsource.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I feel like I want to dig deeper and hear about you ladies' opinion, and also give us a comment in the comment section. Tell us, how do you feel about, mostly the men, I'm welcoming the male, to join us on this conversation. When women or girls are saying we wanna love on ourselves, self-love, does that make you feel like it is you're doing the least? You are not enough? Or does it look like they are empowering themselves and it's a little threatening? But okay. I'm sorry, but let's talk about this.
Absolutely.
After that, I was like, wait, when we were planning this Galentine, it came from a place of like, oh my God, fulfilling each other, holding conversations and connections with fellow women, coming together, just loving. I use the word loving on ourselves, but it may have a bitter taste to someone who doesn't understand that. So what do you think, ladies?
I think I'm going to go first on
Yes,
this one.
please.
Okay.
It's actually pretty interesting. When I first had that reaction, I was like flustered. I just went like that. For like a couple of seconds, I'm like, I was in a trance. I was like, what is going on? It felt like from another world that it would ever be interpreted like the other partner is not doing enough, or that it even had anything to do with a partnership. It's because but then again, I quickly understood as I continued to listen to what the men were saying, because as wellness experts or enthusiasts or advocates, we are women speaking to women, so we use the language that resonates. We are speaking the same language. Men are not. Men are problem solvers. What's the problem? Let me solve it. If you're saying you need to go love on yourself, that means I'm not loving you enough. And so it was very shocking. And I remember sitting there saying, why do I even need to explain this? This feels like even a 5-year-old would be able to understand it. But the more the conversation went on, and the element I truly understood. Even when I didn't want to, it took me time, because I'm like, this is for women. It's not a conversation that men should even be involved in. And then someone said, but this is my wife. This is our finances. She is going to spend $70 to go and love on herself.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? And also, shouldn't we have this conversation before she goes? And I'm like, okay, first of all, this is one day in a whole year where a woman has decided she needs to go do something for herself. Sit this one out, brother. But then again, the conversation comes back to me. And so I say, wait a minute, but we are a partnership. And this is making me feel a type of way. And I felt like, from what I understood, even when some of the men were talking, is it roots back to even the feminist movement, where we're doing really good work out here, and we're saying women need a seat at the table, this and this and this and this. But there will always be, if somebody is not ready to really get to the level of who you want to hear this and be part of the change, you might end up doing harm than good, because then they are already on the defensive, and they're like, I'm not sending my woman there. You're saying healing couch, that means my woman is broken. I was like, wait, what? They're like, okay.
So let's try to
So I feel like there's a need to have a conversation, even for us women, to say, okay, maybe it's not our job to explain it, but we will move a lot faster if we are having a conversation where everybody is understanding. Women are burnt out. They are waking up in the morning, taking care of kids, preparing your breakfast to go to work. In this case, I mean the men. They are, for example, I remember in the conversation giving an example and saying, we're in Jan right now. Women are literally broken. They just came out of December, running after children, preparing Christmas decorations, impressing the in-laws. That's crazy anxiety. Not all in-laws are that, comforting to be around or great for your nervous system. And then all of these things, and then they come into Jan, and then kids are going back to school, and it just never stops. And so during the beginning of the year and during this time, before now, she has to think about Valentine's and what I'm doing for my man. How about she steps aside?
What am I doing for you?
And that's what we mean by self-love. Making sure that you have something in that tank to give. That means the other person on the receiving end, it has nothing to do with them.
And I feel, and I feel like doing all that, like literally, also doesn't put pressure on your partner.
It shouldn't.
No, like actually, I feel like it's good for them, because when I was talking about the pick me mindset, it was more like, I don't even know how to love myself. I only feel love when someone else is giving it to me. So that gives the other person a lot of pressure. Your partner a lot of to make you happy. You're always like resentful if they don't do what you think will fulfill you. But at this point, I'm coming to you with less pressure. With like, hey, you are an addition of love to me, but it doesn't mean I'm putting all my burdens, all my expectations for you to come and first of all heal that child that wants to be picked. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah? Heal that inner child who has felt like love has to be asked for, begged for. But now I'm like, okay, wait, I can take the pressure off of you. I can do the little work with me, learn how to, what makes me happy. Oh, can I go and have if maybe, let's say, going out dining is kind of, something I like doing, but maybe you don't give me that as often as I would like. I'm mad all the time. I'm resentful. I'm like, okay, if self-love in this particular sense would mean that I am taking myself out, I'm buying myself a drink.
Yes.
It's a small example. It's not that deep,
But it is actually, and it's important because sometimes that's the only thing that is missing.
So tomorrow, I'm able to tell you, hey, I want to buy you a drink. How about that? Yeah. So it means it feels nice. I've already felt nice about myself. So now let me extend that love to you. Because when I am fulfilled as a woman, again, as I was beginning the podcast, I was like, you love better. You show up better, lighter, happier, less grumpy. Right now we are grumpy.
A lot of women are grumpy. They need Valentine.
But when Valentine comes, I'll be loving, lounging, Yes. So yes, Karen. So what do you say about that?
So I feel like this is a very sensitive conversation, especially on the men side. Because of course men are, like you said, taught to be the problem solver and the fixers. So when you start saying those things, it threatens them. And for me, I'm a big advocate of all feelings are valid. The men's are also, their feelings are also valid. But what I will not accept is you sitting in that and not wanting to change or not wanting to hear. Like, you have your own interpretation of the matter, but are you willing to actually understand what we're saying? So I'll give an example of myself. So I met my husband in 2018. I think our first or second date, I was from a solo trip in Seychelles. And I was telling him and he was like, hey,
High maintenance. Here comes.
So for me, I've already set the ground of what kind of, and these are the conversations I was already having with him. I was like, I just came from a retreat. I feel refreshed. I feel nourished. I feel like, I've loved on myself. This is like a second date. So this man, he can't come after 5 years and start questioning, do I not feel you? Do I not, Because it's like, you found me pouring to myself. And you know how important this is. So that's why I always tell women, you need to show it more than you speak it. Let them see you. They're like, like you said, this woman, she's taking herself on solo dinners. Like, like even the men, their brains will start telling them that
Registering
slowly. They're like, you've done this for yourself. You've done this for yourself. These little gestures. And then you also talk about it. Like you tell them how self-love, like these are conversations I have in my marriage. How it's so important to do these things, these things for myself. I was on a solo vacation for my birthday. He will not feel.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you think, and honestly, I love that you say this is sensitive. I know for some of the feminists watching this, they might be rubbed the wrong way, but these questions we have to continue asking and having. So one of the gentlemen who I truly really respect and appreciate that he asked this question said, so do you think that when you are doing that self-love thing, you should, if you're now married, it should be a consultation? Should you consult and ask for permission to go on that solo trip?
The word permission is not rubbing off well.
Exactly.
The word a bit attached to it.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Consult.
Consult
and get phone calls.
Changura menyesha.
No,
Yes.
You tanga makuru of what's going on, and you tell them this. It's more of communication in the marriage. This is what I'm planning. This is what I want. And I've said, I have set the standards. When I can't be like, can I go on a trip? It's like, So these are my
letting
plans.
you know that
I'm
this is
letting
what
you
I'm
know
doing.
that this is what I want, and this is what makes me happy. You know,
And if they love you enough, they should want to give
Be
you what
okay.
makes you
They should
happy.
want
and
that
my
for you.
decisions should not affect you in any way. This does not mean you love me less. This does not mean that this marriage is confusing me. This does not mean that this marriage is heavy on my heart. It just means that I need to pour into myself, and that's it. There's no attachment to this. It's as simple as I just want to pour into myself. The problem with the men, they overthink it.
Yes.
And now they go
Sure.
spiraling.
Yeah.
Now they start thinking, no, like, now what does she mean? Is it, and then
Don't I love her enough? Don't I
love her
fulfill
enough?
her?
Aren't we
Yeah.
enough?
There's also that element of you are giving yourself seashells, and he might not be able to
give you
afford
seashells.
seashells.
Now that comes to the insecurities.
Absolutely.
And that's, I feel like, a whole other aspect to
And
this.
women shouldn't pay for that,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
I this is where I am with you, because
Yeah.
the consulting, the informing,
Of
we
course.
agree.
Yeah.
And by the way, also these things like the solo trip I take for myself, like even the saving for it, because that's like a treat to myself, you know, that birthday trip. He knows that only saving for such an event and celebrating my birthday already is a milestone that has to be celebrated by me, because it's an achievement that I've brought myself to, and I need to celebrate myself. So those are things that I have not trained him to understand, but I've kind of communicated so clearly how important.
It's a non-negotiable.
No,
It's a non-negotiable.
she said something about communicated so clearly.
So clear, with no
yeah.
hints.
Yeah.
By the way, in our marriage, we don't give hints.
So
We
yeah.
use words. I'm not going to do things that will make you think. No, I will use the
Will
mouth
inform you.
and the languages that God has put.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make sense in English, we shall switch to Kinyarwanda. If it doesn't make sense in Kinyarwanda,
Clarity. I love
So we can talk about this all day.
Yeah, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
On this very matter.
Okay.
Yes, because one of the things that I truly appreciated, and I think I was with you that day when we received a phone call from one of the gentlemen who was buying a ticket for his woman, and we took the time to ask him, we're like, why did you do this? How did it make you feel? You know, and he was on the other extreme end of, no, I'm always on the lookout for things that can make my woman have her space.
And I quote, "Ibibira mushimisha."
I was
that's what
like,
she said.
Yeah, you're usually calling because we put a contract down. They were calling. They want to know about the event, and with that, again,
was
please go
beautiful.
ahead. But yeah,
but also, I wanted to ask you, because I feel like she's on this really incredible end. But now I want to ask you, and what your maybe what you've encountered or your own experience. I know mine because I've been on both sides of the end. Because sometimes my question would be, what happens if you meet, for example, a traditional man or someone who's been conditioned within our African setting to say the man is the head of the home,
And they make the
they make the decisions, and you're not coming into my house trying to book no ticket to Seychelles. You know, like you follow. You're the helper. You support. You move forward.
Yeah.
And so I want to ask: are these things you've encountered? And where do you think, even us as the people that are organizing something, it's upon us to like. Is this something you've encountered, and what do you think would be the best approach to a situation like this? Because first of all, we are truly blessed that there are men that can even dare to have that conversation.
Yes,
that in itself is progress. Kudos.
Yeah.
Because ideally men would just stay in their corner, think their things, talk to their fellow men, and that's it.
Yeah.
But so I would really want to hear like what your thoughts would be on that.
Yes. So that, first of all, let me make this very clear.
Yeah.
Every partnership is different. Let's start there, right? When Karen is sharing about, this is how I communicate, this is how I entered this partnership with this standard set.
Yes.
It might be different from someone else who's like, we've never had this conversation before. It's a shocker to this partner of mine to even understand that I can do a solo trip. You know what I mean? So for me, you talked about if someone has like a traditional man, like I am the head of the family and ABCD. So for me, what I would say, I won't even like give an answer that is just one answer there. So you have accepted this person or how your union is working. However, I want to mention that there is evolvement. Cultures are growing. We are literally, okay, so before, again, women didn't have ijambo. Now we can air, we can express our feelings. And even this traditional man, trust me, they get it. They get it. But also the conversation should come gently, slowly, but gradually. You can't just burst on someone. You know, for example, they are not into such things. And like, soul trip, what is that? But also, that's why I kept saying, you know your person. You enter this relationship. You know, sometimes you talk, again, you're in a conversation and then someone's like, let me first consult my husband. Another is like, let me call him and give him like, the information. It's different. Both women are to be respected. However, if that birakuanga miengumun, it is up to you to change that. But then the how is what matters. The how. Dialogue. The dialogue. You express this, and I tell me, a man who loves you. Let's even end from that word. A man who loves you. Maybe before I was okay on just, 'cause I didn't know better. Let's start there. I did know better. Now I do. Now I do. How about we open that conversation and talk about it? Clear communication. And this man, I know they want what makes you happy. Maybe they don't know what that is. But if you clearly communicate it, but I know when things are starting to feel a certain way, it's gonna be bitter for the both of you. So, but if you feel you're fulfilled and this is it, then we can't have this conversation. But if you feel like you want change, you initiate the change. You talk about it. And trust me, if this is a healthy marriage, if it's a healthy partnership, it will evolve. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you give back my microphone?
More reasons.
Wow. Yeah.
More reasons why she should have asked you the question in the first place. Okay, so that was intense in a good way, and
beautiful, very
beautiful.
Thank you. So thank you, ladies, for being here. I know we've shared a little bit here and there about what self-love really means, and I want to wrap up this conversation, right? But before I do, I want you to talk to a woman, to a girl, right? What should they look for when they're starting this journey of self-discovery and pouring into themselves?
She gives the most profound answers in the world. I'm going to start this one. She needs to bring it home.
Yes.
So just listening to Peace, really, you took me, I was listening to you, but it was like I was going through history and seeing how far we've come. My mother and her relationship with my dad and how they communicated. Her mother, who was in a very traditional setup. My mother was a 20-year-old who had never been to school. My father was in the first medical class in Uganda. This guy was larger than life, brilliant, way older than her. One would call, could have been her grandfather. Between my mom and my dad, and I've talked about this in my TED talk, it looked like a fairy tale. Those people never fought. Their communication was so seamless, and yet she was so young and he was so old. But then when you looked at my grandparents, it was such a traditional setup. So I could only imagine what that communication would have been like about self-love in that setup. But now, then there's me today. You know, getting into my first relationship at 20 something and navigating communication. Oh, we did butt heads. Oof. And I mean, I don't remember ever having a conversation about self-love, but looking back right now, I don't think that would have gone down very interesting. I didn't have the tools to have communicated that effectively. I would have probably come in with my ego.
Attitude.
I make my money. I'm going away. And he's like,
who do you think you're talking to?
Exactly. And yeah, so communication styles and everything. I'm so grateful that you talked about that. I completely digressed. So I'm gonna answer your question, which was talking to the woman who's listening right now about self-love. I want to say that the beginning point has to be you. When you look at yourself, when you think about the word love of self, what comes to you? You know, is it exciting? Is it heavy? Is it indifference? Because that tells you where you are in your own journey. Is it even the thought of it like, ugh. Now, I also want to add that no matter where you are in your journey, self-love is work. Let nobody lie to you that it's just about, happy. Like we said earlier, Karen talked about therapy. For me today, self-love is a lot of therapy. Self-love is sitting with some emotions that I don't want to deal with. Self-love is also once in a while, go to the saloon. I have to be reminded like 10 times, but I'll never forget my child's salon needs. But me, Isabelle, your nails, tomorrow. Sometimes self-love means you're going to set an alarm to do one nice thing for yourself every week. And also, many times we talk about, we were in a relationship. He used to look at me this way. He no longer looks at me that way. Even you used to look at yourself a certain way. Right. You no longer look at yourself that way. Why do you expect people to love you if you can't love yourself? So that's what I'm going to say. Come to the Galentine, pour into yourself. The biggest topic of the day is how can you love yourself? How do you, if you don't even know, how do you start? There are little exercises that are going to be asking you about you to know where to even start. I'm going to talk about these ladies for 1 second as I close. So my part in short is going to be like, also like surround yourself with people whose self-love journey makes you want to grow in your own, like you're like, I wish I could do that. Surround yourself with them, because trust me, I'm going to start with this queen. Every morning that I called her, she's on her way to the gym or from the gym. And then the other day she tells me, by the way, I got the whole package. So on this particular day, I don't just do gym, I also swim.
Karen looking at her, just like, what did I say this time?
What crazy.
She says it so casually. She's like, I also, swim. And then when she finds me and my nails, I have to do like this. Because I know this queen, like,
she had to be late to a meeting.
Her
nails were not done.
Exactly.
Like, I was not going to shop like this.
No. But and so and I'm so grateful for that. Let me tell you, my nails are done.
Influence.
Yay.
See what I mean? Yeah. Now I'm going to turn over here. Now this woman, where can I start?
It's a long one.
That's a long one. But one thing she has taught me is positive self-talk.
Yes.
There are certain things that we keep thinking self-love is just doing. Every time I say, I'm sorry, why are you apologizing? Can we talk about this? Like, what in, you know what I mean?
Do you have to
apologize? And I'm like, no, actually. She said, no, I don't have to apologize. And I've had to sit back and look at myself. And then she will tell me about all the things that this woman, she's the ultimate hype woman. Let me tell you, she will remind you, there are days when we can't love self.
Yes.
Self-love is also surrounding yourself
with people who can feel you and remind you how great and incredible.
Come to Galentine.
Come to Galentine. Okay, so I know I was gonna pose the same question to you, but I have a different one because I feel like we've had. She's brought it home. So we talked about how love should add to yourself. Love from someone else, right? Should be an addition, inyonjera, to yourself. But what is it that love from someone else does not have to take away from you?
Love from your partner or someone else does not need to take away who you are. You cannot lose yourself in being loved. Where you can't remember, who was I before this person? What did I like?
Emerging his interests into yours and forgetting what yours are.
Yes.
That also, can I say, I know, sorry for interrupting, but something just came to mind. Do you know when you just got into a romantic relationship? Bichiri bishasha, like it's too hot. Fireworks, butterfly. His friends become more of your friends. You disappear from your girlfriends. Just say,
That is those self-love.
those things happen. So again, I'm emphasizing on what you just said. Yeah, those things happen whereby I used to be. I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
I'm guilty. We're all guilty. I think it's
Whereby a new relationship, you will not see me until maybe something is wrong. Ni kibazo. But yeah, we are being vulnerable on this podcast. Okay, so that, of course, with work, doing the work in a certain way.
intentional.
What happened to my friends?
Yeah.
What happened to the hobbies? You used to begin liking football. You never liked football.
Are you really liking, or you are liking?
Losing. It's okay to like support and do the things together, but doesn't have to take away from. Yes, please continue.
That was key. And I feel like that's something a lot of people are dealing with.
Yeah. A lot of people think, first of all, people think that's love. You know? Love is really defined differently for a lot of people. And unfortunately, for some people, that's how love looks like. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that is not love. That is not losing yourself. And usually, you know, the sad thing is women find out many years later that they don't know who they are anymore. And now, at the age of 40, where you need to be living your best life, like Izzy said, now you're on a self-discovery journey. Because you just spent...
Why are you saying women? This woman lost herself. What did all of those things? You know?
So I think it's because you married young as well.
I did. But even like my second go at it, I did make the very same, you know. I even left my own career and onboarded his career, and I did it so willingly and so happily. But now when you look back at it, you're like,
there's a little bit of resentment there. You're like, how could you even make me do this? They did make you, you went with, but again, also, I don't know, but also the other person has to be good for you, good for your dreams, good for your ambitions, good for what makes you happy. Because now if you're losing yourself and they're letting you,
but are they letting? Because also, oh my gosh, we're hijacking you. But I think this is a very important conversation. They might not even know.
Then they don't do it from a bad place.
They are like,
and for them,
she's supportive.
Also, the way you think that that's love, maybe they also think that, oh, this is love. Like now she's interested in everything I do. Now she wants to go everywhere I go to with her.
Whole world.
Our lives have intertwined. Now she no longer has to seek outside people. It's just me and her in our little world. It's like it's only us in this entire you know? Even then, that's how they define love.
Yes.
You know? And that's something I don't believe in. And I also worked hard not to get to that point. One of the very many questions that people ask me is how I still kept the same friends I had from before I was married till now. Some are even still single. Like, how do I maintain those? And the one answer I tell them is that it's because I'm still me. You know, that's always my answer.
Yes, a better version by you.
Like, it's maybe the ring on, but it's me, you know. The only difference is now I have more responsibility, but that does not take away my responsibility to you as my friend, you know. I need to show up for you when you need me. Like, yes, I'm a mom, but I'm your friend too. Like, those two truths can coexist in my world. And it's because I've made the intention to. It's actually not easy, you know, like you have to give it up and say, really, it's not easy. But something powerful happens when people are intentional. You have to be intentional about self-discovery, self-love, like also picking up on these things like, you know, like self-awareness. You know, whenever you catch yourself losing yourself, you need to pause and think about it. Also surround yourself with people who tell you the truth. You know, people who tell you that, madam, what is going on.
Mm.
Those nails, eh? What's the plan?
Hey, what are we doing?
That hair, say, it's because Sophie, what? Go need school fees. How about you go fix your hair and then pay the school fees? You know? That 20K, it's not going to pay. It's not going to, you know? So it's like you need those honest friends. You need those people who will tell you, remind you that you're far gone.
Come back.
Come back. And also you need to be, you need to be a receiver. It's not everybody's hating, by the way. Sometimes people love you.
Thank you. Yeah.
You know?
Nobody's a hater.
Nobody's a hater.
Yeah.
Of course they're haters because, you know when those people
This
they
world.
need to be out of your life in the first place. But if these are people that you have brought into your life, you need to be open to listen to them, you know? You need to also check in. One of my friends, Priscilla, she's the one who will text you like, is there a way I'm not loving you? She sends messages like, is there a way I can love you better?
And you're like, hey,
Karabash.
Now that's something.
Like, how has my, like maybe she's going through like a transition, like how has my transition made you feel? Like, let's have like deep conversations.
These are the friends we need. 2026.
So those are the people like you need to surround yourself. Like you need people who will bring up conversations like that make you also stimulate. You know, the mom brain, it goes into a very dark hole. So you need people who stimulates like the tough conversations that come back to yourself. Those conversations, do you ever meet someone and then you have they have a conversation in a raw conversation with you and you go home? That's my friend Rosine. Whenever like I have a conversation with her, I get home and I'm like,
You think about.
Urumva. So those like I was saying, you need people in your life who will have those conversations that will make you assess your life and see how you can also do better.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like her life inspires me to do better. The work that she's doing. All the time I see her posting about therapy and I'm like, why is my next appointment not booked? You know, you need that kind of people in your life. People who are doing the work. Because people who are doing the work makes you want to do the work yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is Mind Over Matter. Dotahe. That was amazing, ladies. I could sit and talk to you guys all day. Do you guys see? Should we keep the setup of the podcast closer to our couch and being calm? We have pillows. We are sleeping. Should we say? It was so. It feels conversational. It feels like we are home. We just having a great time, and that was really amazing. Thank you so much for coming back to the podcast, for the support, for sharing your heart out with the people, with me. I learn something new every time I talk to you ladies, and I appreciate you so much. So, are you coming to Galentine or what? Are you coming or what? So what should people expect here? People, tell us.
We're going to love on you. All your senses are going to be stimulated. Like,
Oh,
yes. You're going to smell nice food, nice drinks. You're going to listen to great music. You're going to see beautiful ambience, right? You're going to make great connections. You're going to sit in sisterhood. You're going to be held, embraced, challenged.
and that's
Everything.
it. Yeah.
Everything she said. There's nothing I can add.
Kabisa.
Just come now. It's
Yes.
time to get that ticket and come see for yourself.
Alrighty. All right. And that is the end of our episode today. Thank you so much for tuning in. For you who are always coming back, commenting, liking, sharing. I see you and I appreciate you. Please, if you have not subscribed, take a minute to subscribe. Support your girl. Let's grow those numbers. Let's grow the community. Come back and come back again. I really hope you stick around, So that is the end, and I hope to see you in my next episode. Remember, mindset is power.